Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. Guys, I hope you had a beautiful and safe weekend. Got to have some mimosas and really relax before you kick off this work week, which now it's Monday and you know what that means. Mondays usually are the busiest days for us, and we are back with more news, of course, in true Monday fashion, since we will be back at 11:30 a.m. talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with Down with Jason and Kim Pyre. I did want to talk a little bit about this new article that came out. So, Mary Cosby is revealing why Cameron actually left her church. Well, at least this is her side of it. And she's shading Heather's exit from Mormonism. She's also saying that Lisa Barlow, well, is not her friend. And there's a few more details on what else is going on with Miss Mary Cosby. Mary Cosby always strikes me as an interesting figure, and it's kind of chaotic to keep up with her, but I think that's probably why she makes a great housewife. And honestly, at the end of the day, I do want to say this. I hope that none of the allegations against her are true. It would be sad to see another scandal going on with another housewife, just to be fair. With that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
When Mary was asked about her friend Cameron's controversial exit from her church, Mary Cosby, now we saw this on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and we saw it, as a storyline that honestly, I have to be just 100% with you guys. I thought this was going to be the main storyline of the season. Mary Cosby and the cult allegations after Dan Cosby came on my channel, and then I saw a few of her other family members going on other YouTube channels and blogs and talking about how Mary and her husband, Robert Sr., were running their church like an alleged cult and going around from member to member of the congregation, having them take out mortgages on their homes. It was a lot. There were a lot of allegations, and they're still continuing to come out and pile up against Mary Cosby. Now, when Lisa Barlow introduced Cameron on the show, we were all wondering, what is the motive here, if at all? Now, Lisa Barlow says that there was no motive, that she was hosting an event for her children, for their company Fresh Wolf, and they were giving back to the Utah's Foster Care Association, right? An organization. I don't know the exact words, and I'm sorry, guys, it's only 7 a.m. over here. But she was saying that is exactly why he was there. But then, of course, us as fans want to know, then wait, why did you end up sitting down with him and talking with him? This does look like a setup to a situation that is trying to expose Mary Cosby. Now, I'm not saying it was necessarily Lisa Barlow who set this situation up. It could have been production, and Lisa Barlow could have been the one who decided to go with it because she's been friends with Cameron for a long time. But there's a lot of questions here, and this doesn't paint Lisa like she's not trying to pre-produce something, even though hopefully this is just editing. Well, moving on, she said, I don't know. I think people leave for their own reasons. Mary explained on a December 5th episode of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show. She said, every church has rules. Every church has ways that you're supposed to live. We don't really necessarily curse or drink or do things that some people just want to do, and it's okay. Sometimes you just fall off. Like, you know what? I'm not really trying to do the right thing right now. Not saying that's his story. That's the reason why they usually just but it's not ill will, but that's the reason that they usually kind of leave. It was just more so of a amicable departure. Okay, wait a minute. That's what we're going with? This man who has passed away, we're saying that, that's probably, I'm not saying that that's why he left, but sometimes people fall off of the wagon and they end up leaving the church. I hope she's not saying that he fell off the wagon. Okay, my problem with this is that the man is not here to defend himself. She said every church has those. We have one on our cast. And then that was kind of her way to shade Heather. During the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we know that Meredith Marks was seen defending Mary as the rest of the cast questioned her, well, not only her church, but also wondered if she was running some sort of cult during a cast trip to Vail. Now, Lisa participated in the speculation. And then she later obviously went to Mary's room and kind of passed the blame off on Whitney, which, Lisa, we still love you. And thank you so much for coming on Jason's channel to explain Vida Tequila. But there was a little bit of blame passing, which in true Housewives fashion, it makes it for a more interesting situation. I love when they play hot potato with the drama and play telephone. And they're like, wait a minute, I'm going to throw the stone, but it was in Whitney's hand. That's what it kind of felt like. Again, we still love you. For Whitney, though, she got all of the blame passed on her. And then you could see Mary was noticeably pissed off because she feels like all of the women are talking about her behind her back, which they were, and she should be mad about that. However, these are very real allegations, and I'm sure, you know, they have to bring them up and they have to mention them, no matter how hurtful they are. Every single member of the cast is going to have their moment where something's going to be uncomfortable. Like Jenny Wynn, I don't think that she knew her husband was going to come out with, well, what about a sister wife? I feel like for her, that was mortifying. Meredith Marks, finding out that there were, you know, other parties involved within their own relationship, Jen Shah's indictment, Mary Cosby's alleged cult allegations, Whitney and her financial situation, like they all exposed something. Now, speaking of Meredith, Heather Gay was one to give her a compliment, but also throw a little bit of shade back at Lisa Barlow. She said Meredith reads the room. She's a swan and she takes it all in. She does not suffer fools, and I don't think she would suffer being fooled by Lisa for much longer. And Whitney seems to question why Meredith is so loyal to Mary to begin with. She said the writing's on the wall that there's these people making accusations about Mary and her church and the money and the misuse of power. But Meredith is like sticking her heels in the ground for Mary. I want to know what Meredith is really thinking about Mary, which is fair. I want to know that too. And Meredith, you know, she seems like at this point she's being a loyal friend, but at the end of the day, why are you so loyal when there are so many accusations coming out? There has to be a real reason. Is it just because Mary didn't talk about your cheating allegations last season? Is that the only reason? And if so, okay. But I feel like there has to be something more to it. Mary also admitted that she feels like Lisa is not a friend. And she said, a friend wouldn't bust in my room and ask me these bizarre questions about what someone else said. She's known Cameron for 1 or 2 years. I've known him for 14. Whoop. She said she doesn't know him like he's a best friend. Cameron and Lisa being friends, that's odd. Seems like she kind of thinks the same thing. But again, guys, I don't want to just give you this information and not ask your opinion. Also, don't forget that, again, we are going live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and all of the drama that's going down within the cast. But go ahead and comment below. What do you think about Mary's reasoning for Cameron's exit, about her thinking that Lisa's not a good friend and shading Heather's exit from Mormonism? And Whitney and Heather are curious as to why Meredith is sticking her heels so firmly and protecting, or at least sticking up for Mary Cosby. It makes me question too, but go ahead and comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.